Hey, what is up guys? This is Anthony, aka Batbomb82. And just this past weekend, the new Power Rangers film debuted in theaters. And in honor of this awesome film, I'll be taking a look at the new Legacy Collection Mighty Morphin Power Rangers figures. Now all this week, I'll be taking a look at each individual Ranger day by day. Starting off with the Red Ranger. Now taking a look at the front, we can see that the figure is showcased in a window box packaging. At the top, we can see that it says Saban's Power Rangers. On the left, an image of the Red Ranger surrounded by red lightning. And just above that, we can see that it comes with a piece for the Build-A-Megazord. On the bottom right, we can see that it says Legacy Collection Red Ranger. Turning the box around, we can see the entire Build-A-Megazord figure. We can see more red lightning in the background, and at the bottom, all the other figures from this wave. So with the box out of the way, let's crack this figure open and see what we have inside. And here is the Red Ranger out of the box. And man, I must say, I am very stoked to have this figure in my collection. We finally get a decent scale for Power Ranger figures. But in all honesty, he has quite a bit of problems that really pissed me off. But overall, I'm very stoked to check him out here with you guys. But before we take a closer look at the figure, let's take a look at the accessories. So the Red Ranger only comes with a few accessories, starting off with a power stick, a holster for the power stick, and an upper torso piece for the Build-A-Megazord. So with the accessories out of the way, let's take a closer look at the Red Ranger. Alright guys, now let's take a closer look at the Red Ranger here. First and foremost, I am very excited that we're finally getting Power Rangers in this particular scale. Around the 6 to 7 inch scale. We've always had Power Ranger figures just all over the place as far as scale goes, from 3 inch to 9 inch, 5 1/4 inch, and all these weird, scales, and nothing really to, just uniform. With these figures, this is about the 6.5 inch area. This is my particular favorite scale of figures, to go along with the lines with like DCUC, Marvel Legends, and things like that. So for that, I'm really stoked about these figures. Now, my one biggest complaint, the lack of accessories, is honestly killing me here. The fact that they don't come with their signature weapons. No, he should have his power sword. All he really comes with is this right here, the little stick. Yeah, it's not even in like knife mode or gun mode or anything like that. It's just in like stick mode, which is ridiculous. And it's really cool. It's nicely sculpted. Wish they were a little better painted, but it's not terrible. And he can hold it in his hand very well. But again, it's kind of just nothing. If anything, this is strictly for the position it would be when it's holstered, and that's it. There's no actual, it's not in any actual weapon mode, which is, to be honest, very ridiculous and genuinely pisses me off, which is a shame too, because this is actually a fairly cool figure. Just the lack of that accessories at all, like at least his main weapon, I'd be cool with this, having that in there just like that, if he would at least come with his power sword. If it just at least came with that, I'd be much happier, but he does not. Now, there's one other accessory is pretty cool, since we do have a Build-A-Megazord bath that comes with each piece, comes with each figure. So the Red Ranger here comes with the upper torso and the headpiece of the Megazord, which is pretty cool. Great sculpt. I like this quite a bit, but we'll definitely be taking a closer look at this once I review all the other figures and I have all the pieces, and I'll do a separate review for just the Megazord. So back to the figure itself. The sculpt is all very cool. Sometimes in Power Ranger figures, from what I've noticed, they can be really too bulky, too muscular, to the point where it just looks like they're on steroids. and I've never really been a fan of that. So I think his is pretty cool. It's a mixture of him being still buff, but at the same time semi-lean, which I think is really, really good. The paint apps came out very, very clean. I love the morpher right there. And I know it's kind of hard to see, but you can actually see the T-Rex coin right there in the belt, which looks very, very good. I'm very appreciative of that. You know, it's just a standard red suit and white sections here and there. All came out very, very clean, nicely painted, nicely sculpted for the most part. I think the helmet came out really, really cool. I like that quite a bit. And it's kind of hard to tell, but I kind of wish the teeth right here on the visor itself were like silver instead of this whole thing just being painted white. You know, kind of like the Figure Arts version. I know that might be asking a little too much, but I just kind of wish it was just a little more in there. But overall, the sculpt looks really, really cool. Now, articulation is kind of hit or miss on this, so let's check it out and you'll see what I mean here. So, the head itself is not really on a ball joint. It kind of seems like it is, but it only turns left and right on that specific joint as it is. Now you can see there's a spot right there, a peg right there. That's actually from a disc joint in there. So the disc joint allows it to look up and down. So you can't roll it around at all. So when you want to learn flick to the side, it's kind of awkward. So he's looking to the side and then he has to tilt down like that. That just doesn't come off natural at all. Like he can't look that way and then kind of downward. It's just a very awkward, I don't know why they didn't just give us a straight up ball peg instead of this really awkward disc hinge, which is really weird, and it doesn't work as well as I'd like. Now the shoulder joints are another thing too. I know for a fact what Bandai's going to do is utilize a lot of these same parts for pretty much a ton of their Power Ranger figures. Now I've seen this before where they have sculpted areas like this, like see the shoulder section right here has a sculpted line right there. Chances are that's going to be utilized in some type of other figure. Now that kind of annoys me because it kind of looks like he has shoulder pads when it really shouldn't be, and it actually kind of does hinder articulation a bit. So the arms can go all the way up about that far, down about that much, and only out about that far. Now what I've noticed is if you pull the arm back and then out and then rotate that bicep, you can kind of get the look where, where the arm actually extends out even further. So that's what the standard joint would go just like that. And if you do what I just do, it can make it go further out like that. So that's just a little trick I kind of figured out. So you got rotation at the bicep, double jointed elbows that work okay. A little bulky right here and just a little squared off, which I don't really like. We do get glove cuts right there. The hands are on these little ball pegs, little double hinge ball pegs. So those kind of roll around a little bit, rotate left and right, and hinge up and down. We do get an ab crunch feature, allows it to crunch forward and back about that much. And what I do like, even though the sculpt kind of screws it up a little bit, it is actually painted white all the way in there. So that's pretty good. So we get kick up about that far, back about that much. Can do the splits very well. We do get thigh cut in there, allows it to rotate left and right. Double jointed knees that work very nice. We get a boot cut, allows you to rotate left and right. An ankle joint allows you to point the toe up and down, not side to side, but we do get a really good ankle rocker in there. So overall, I do like this figure for a lot of reasons. Absolutely love the scale, love the sculpt and the paint for the most part. The lack of accessories really irks me. And I wish our ticket was just a little bit better. But overall, I'm really excited that we finally have Rangers in this scale. And overall, I think it is definitely a must-get. So for a quick size comparison, here he is standing next to a Marvel Legends Captain America figure, as well as a DCUC Batman figure. And for your Red Ranger comparison, here he is standing next to a vintage Red Ranger, and an SH Figuarts Red Ranger. And just for fun, here he is standing next to little Lego Bat Bomb. So there it is, guys. My review of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Legacy Collection Red Ranger. Now overall, I really do love this figure. It is in perfect scale with so many other figures in my collection. It has a decent sculpt, decent paint, and decent articulation. But the lack of accessories really downfall this figure. There is no reason why we could not at least get a power sword. But overall, I'm still very much happy with this. So please comment, like, and subscribe. Stay nerdy, my friends. Peace.